Welcome to the Dev Banner. This is Eric. Today, on this episode, I'd like to start off talking about structs. Structs are, I believe, the major building block in the Go language. This is a typical struct. Its name is called customer, and you declare it by putting this type in with a struct afterwards. And the collection would be whatever you put in here. Now, if I did type user and I did struct, that's a valid struct. It's called an empty struct. And there's some uses for it. That will be for another video. But coming back to customer, you'll see that I added these fields and they're types. And as you can see, the string, int, there's some other ints that are available to use. Just know that this int is either int, it'll be for whatever OS and hardware handles that will handle what the int size would be. So if it's an older computer, it'll be an int32. But most of the time, these newer computers are all 64-bit systems, so it will default to one of those two. Float, there's either a float 32 or a float 64. This customer email is really just a string. I just said, hey, I'm creating this type with this name, and it's a string. So that baseline variable type is a string. This is declaring an array of these addresses, and these address is a struct that has these values in it. So here, addresses is just an array or list of address. This is your Boolean, and this little curious thing right here is, as you can say, it's another struct, but this is inheritance in Go. Go is not necessarily true OO language, but this is the closest thing you're going to get to OO and an inheritance. And to show you that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to instantiate a type of customer, and I'm going to do that with the curly braces. Now you can see that there's an error. And that's one of the beautiful things about Go. They don't allow it. If you're not going to use a variable, you won't be able to compile. So one of the things I like about the language. So if we do the customer and I do dot, you can see that I have active addresses, age, all of these things, and there's actually profile. And you're like, well, that's no different, right? And I'm going to do display name, and I'm just going to give it a empty string. But here's where the inheritance comes in. Customer display name, and that's the same thing. Both of those are valid, and if you just put in another struct at its base root as a root with no name to it, it will go ahead and inherit these values or those fields as needed. So that's one of the things I like about structs. So with that, I just want to teach you a couple more things, and then we'll get on to our program. That is, in OO language, OO ecosystem, if you use a uppercase, that is considered public. If you do a lowercase, that is considered private. So if another package imports this package, they wouldn't be able to see that under a lowercase customer. And that goes along with also the field names also. So name wouldn't be, and I'm trying to remember, I'd have to set up a scenario to figure that out, but just know that's the same with field names also, private versus public. And then you'll see that I'm using type a lot. Just know that for me, you can, and I prefer this way, is you can actually put everything, and I'm just going to delete all these. And if you put the keyword and then put them in parentheses, then I'm going to put those all in the block, and those are all types. So kind of save yourself a little bit of typing. I normally just kind of go to this pattern, and you can do that obviously with imports, but you can do that with consts, and you can put all your constants in there. So it's something that I like to do. So on to our program. Where we left off with this is Prognos is going to be an application that we're going to bring in transactions from our credit card, or whatever, categorize it, and then put a budget against it, and then just view those, how things are going like throughout the month, and even go back maybe in some few months and see how well you've done with your spending. So one of the things that I like to do as an engineer when I start designing something is put together entities that will hold my data. So a collection of, like structs, a collection of fields that I would need, and we're going to call them entities. And so let's go over some of them. And your homework tonight will fill, or for this week, will fill those in. So let's go ahead and say, okay, well, if I have a credit card that belongs to a company, maybe popular clothing company, and they offer a credit card, you have it. That would be what we call an account, right? And one of the things I like to do is I like to just put something down on a piece of paper, and just write everything down, and then link these things together, where these entities together, where they have a relationship. And that's kind of what you do when you're making tables for a database. So let's go with an account, and those are going to hold. So you're going to probably have a name, but we're going to put an ID. An ID will be something that's unique for this entity within this collection. Name, I mean, you could do name, but ID is pretty helpful. Let's say that you and your spouse or your significant other have different accounts. So let's call owner, or an owner name. And then one of the things that I've noticed, that the dates are never the same from account to account as they come through the files. So we're going to have this date format, and we'll definitely go over this another day, another episode. And then sometimes they'll put what you spent and what you've paid, meaning that you paid your bill. Sometimes they reverse assign, so we're gonna do reverse sign. Now we have an account, and how's that going to be related to everything else? Well, what else do you think we need? We need something like transactions, right? And those will be a collection of transactions that, if you get a line in your CSV file from your bank statement, or from your bank, or your credit card, a transaction will be one of those lines. Let's see, you'll need category, meaning, I want to put in my own categories. You're going to have like auto, what you spent in your home, what you know, gas, stuff like that. And so we're going to have category, and you can add as many as you want, and we'll provide those as a list or drop down or something to you know, for you to pick and choose. Let's see, what else do you need? There is a problem that we're going to see that there every file is going to be a little bit different, and we're only going to be worried about, like, I think three or four columns that are going to be in your file. And so we're going to want to figure out which columns indexed on that line that we're worried about. So we're going to call this account column, and that's going to have, like, that's going to, you know, it's going to link to an account, because an account is depicting what that column is in that file, and that those are going to hold, you know, what those are. And you're not going to have a ton of them, because you're going to have one per account, but it's good to separate those out. Let's see. What about the budgeting? Let's see. You want to budget, meaning you want to set a number limit per category that you could change. And so we're going to have a budget or budget allocation or something like that. And let's see, there's a couple more that I've kind of thought of. I think that's good. We got 5. These 5 main tables are a good starting point. And so write those down. Your homework is to fill what you think you should need in these. And if you don't get everything, you'll get what I'm putting in on the done branch for this episode. But now we're going to say, okay, how do you put this into Go? So I'm going to put my little tablet away. Let's go back to our program. Okay, so here's that hello world. We don't need it anymore, so I'm just gonna, actually, let's just get rid of it and move to trash. So we're going to start in this internal, and actually I got rid of command, which I didn't want to get rid of, but that's okay. And we're going to create a new file. Actually, we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call it entities. So another thing that I like to do is I like to organize once again, going back to episode 1, this project, layout. But once you get into these folders, then you can do whatever you want, right? But here, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to put all my entities into their own folders. And so under entities, we're going to do one called account. And in here, I like to put everything that's for this account, and this is going to make more sense as we go along. So just trust me. And we're going to make a file in here, and I'm going to call it model.go. Anything that has .go as an extension, you're going to see that this little small, I'll make it bigger just so you can see it. And this is their little image saying this is a Go file. And So we're gonna describe our this thing right here. And so your homework will be to do the rest of them. Even if you don't fill everything in, the exercise of making the folders, putting the files in place, typing out, package. Okay, once again, the package, other than main, should be the same name as your folder. And as you can see, this kind of helped you figure out what you might want to call it. And we're going to go back and we're going to do type and put it in this block, so that if we add more, we just go into this block and add more structs or other types that you might need. And we're gonna go account struct, and we're gonna put those in. Now I've already done that, so we're gonna save on time, and we're just gonna copy and paste. And these are the fields that I decided to call: account, for account, ID, account name, owner name, date, format, and reverse sign. So let's go ahead and save that. And you've made your first model for your entity. What you'll do is, under entities, you will create those other 5: transaction, category, I would call it account column, spell it out, budget, and really account column, I would just put it all in one. And I will go ahead and do category. Just an example, I'm going to take those out before I save it, so that you can add to it. Follow these same steps, and look forward to the go grab the branches off of the Prognos out of Black Flag Software's GitHub, and there will be also done to the point where we've focused on these structs for this week, because they are the major building blocks, and we'll use them quite heavily through this process. See you next time. Please subscribe to the channel and make sure notifications are turned on.